mother and I are telling you that you're gonna ruin your life. When I was your age, I thought it was the right thing to do. My father tried to get me to turn my back on the streets. I didn't listen. I'm trying to protect you from a life of misery, son.
When the fuck are you gonna pay for all the bullshit you've done, huh, Dad? Up to now, you still don't even see me for who I really am. I'm you, Dad.
Welcome back, Top Notch Gang, to another video, and as you can see, we're talking about if Tariq suffers the same fate as Ghost. With this being the last and final season of Power Book 2 Ghost, everyone's asking and theorizing how Tariq's story will end, so we're just going to point out all the clues, details, comparing it to Ghost, his situation, everything like that, and also just give my own opinion and takes of how we could possibly see Power Book 2 Ghost ending, based off the teaser trailer we received a few weeks ago. With the shock of this being the last season, I think we might actually be left with a lot of cliffhangers, loose ends, or unsolved storylines, but I'm still gonna try to wrap up all the storylines based off what we've seen at the end of season 3, his relationship with all these characters, how he gets out this war, possible kills he's gonna have, how he gets the club back as we see him standing in it from the trailer, and of course the comparison to Ghost, how does Tariq himself, his story end, especially as we can see in the clip, a person coming through the same door he shot Ghost out of, all the possibilities of who that could be, and will he suffer the same fate as Ghost? Because it's no mistake that the final scene we see in the teaser parallels Ghost's final scene in Power, him standing over the rail at Truth, bringing everything full circle, Tariq right back at the scene of the crime. This is gonna bring back so many memories, thoughts, and everything like that, and I think they set this up perfectly for it to be a good finale, even with it being short notice. But let's just go ahead and dive into all of it. As usual, you guys can leave a like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into it. But first off, we got to talk about loose ends from season 3, and I think to tie all this together, Tariq is gonna have to drop a few bodies next season. Of course, it's Power. Now, who are them bodies gonna be? How do they take place? That's what we're gonna get into. As we saw in the teaser trailer, he's possibly gonna get 2 to 3. I think 2 for sure. Maybe 3, it might be a miscellaneous characters, but I think he takes out for sure 2 main characters. We're going to get into who and how I possibly see it all playing out. 2 kills, I think it might surprise some people, one name more than the other, but I think it could possibly be Effie and Kane. Now let me point out all the details and clues of why. Now first off, Effie, this one is a bit more of a stretch, but I still could see Tariq going through with it. I think a lot of people forget and don't understand that Effie has now betrayed Tariq's trust 3 separate times. First off, of course, when they were back at Cho, she snitched on him, told everybody he was selling, got him kicked out of school. Then of course he got back with her, they got back close. He thought he could trust her, so he shared the information with Lauren. She then goes behind his back to Kane, tells him that information. Kane pushes the kill off on Brayden. Her, of course, knowing Brayden isn't gonna do it, goes and tries to take out Lauren herself, once again behind his back, and then she gets arrested for the Lauren kill. He gets her out and she goes behind his back and betrays him for a 3rd time, letting Noma know he knows where her daughter is. So this is our 3rd time betraying him. I don't think there's no getting back on good terms for them. I think he could use her feelings for him as he has in the past and try to get closer to Kane, to the rest of the Tejadas, to possibly take out some other targets. But I think if it comes down to it, to a particular situation, I think he would take out Effie if he has to. To be honest, he might have fucked with her the least out of Diana and Lauren. And that might be a lot close, because a lot of people say he don't fuck with Diana, but I don't know. But I do think for sure Effie is on the chopping block this season. I think we learned a lot about her backstory and who she is. They want to build her up so that if she was to possibly die, the impact of that moment will be even bigger, even greater, and I think Tariq could possibly be the person that pulls that trigger. Now, of course, the next person I mentioned was Kane. Now, to be honest, this is interchangeable with either of the Tejada brothers. I think Drew is high on everyone's that list just for this season, and he would be high on mine. He's still possibly gonna die, but with this being the last season, I possibly think that Kane and Tariq's rivalry is gonna come to a head, and this is where it ends. We of course see the scene of Monet screaming. We know some shit went down, some shit took place, and we also see another scene of Drew and Diana fleeing from wherever they at. I think they're gonna be trying hard to cover their tracks and try to help Kane get to Tariq before their secret and everything comes out. I made a whole video on Kane already. He's ready to crash out. He's been one to kill Tariq over the course of all 3 seasons, and now he has more reason than ever to do so, and I think this is gonna get him caught up, especially if he's still trying to fuck with Effie as we've seen in the teaser trailer, and that's why I mentioned her. She possibly thinking Tariq could still be with her, or he could bring her back on his side, that she could possibly earn back his trust. She could possibly betray Kane and get him taken out by Tariq. I could see her doing this shit. They made up a few times. He's used her feelings for him in the past, so he could possibly do the same thing to take out other enemies. And I think Kane would be the biggest one, as he is the biggest threat. Next, we got to talk about how he possibly gets his trust fund and truth back. As you guys know, he lost it in the Western Holdings Ponzi scheme. He also got RSJ to put his money into that as well. So he's possibly gonna be talking to RSJ and Stern this season, trying to get back the money, or at the very least the clubs, as we see him standing in it at the end of the season. Now, a lot of people thought that the trust fund just included his money, but trust funds include everything: organizations, properties, which he is a shareholder of Truth, as is said when they read Ghost's inheritance to him.
He gets the property, the shares in the nightclubs, including Truth, and the watch collection.
All he had to do was graduate from Stansfield, and he would be able to gain full access to everything Ghost left him. Now, of course, with all these people gunning for him and after him, I don't know if he will still continuously be attending Stansfield, or if he'll find ways to broker new deals with RSJ or possibly Stern, get them to buy Truth for him, give it to him in exchange for something in the future. I don't know what that is yet, but this is the best way I see it playing out. We also do have to remember though that it was Rashad Tate who blew the whistle to the SEC. It was of course RSJ called Tariq on the phone and told him, so he the one who got the whole operation taken down. And you've seen over the course of these 3 seasons as well, Tate and Tariq have been helping one another. Tariq give him a drug operation to bring down, and of course that in turns bring down his competition. Tate gets rise and political fame and all that, so he could also go towards Rashad Tate to possibly get a deal or broker some agreement so that he gets the clubs or some type of financial gain back. Now, once again, with Rashad Tate telling the SEC, I believe all the assets and everything within Western Holdings is completely frozen, and now that Braden has killed his uncle, who is possibly going to take the fault for it, I think they got him to sign the papers. We're just going to have to wait and see how this storyline continues to develop and plays out. I don't see a direct way Tariq gets his money back, like automatically gets his trust fund back, but I do see multiple avenues of people he could talk to that are high up in much better positions than him that could help him towards his goal, and I think that's the route he's going to take. And that brings us to the Ghost and Tariq parallel. I think after he thinks everything is done, he got everyone out the way, all his enemies, he's finally about to get out the game, he got the club back, whether it was from RSJ, Tate, or whoever, but he's finally exiting the game. We see the parallel with him and Ghost. He's finally returning to Truth, and he's in the exact same spot Ghost was standing there, and Ghost's last and final scene, and we see someone in the background walking through the door that Tariq walked through to kill Ghost. Now, once again, as I said in the intro, this is no coincidence. I think this is set up flawlessly for it to end this way, and people are wondering if he's gonna suffer the same fate that Ghost did. Now, I think it's pretty easy to say no. Like, if we're being honest, they didn't know that this was the last and final season. That alone tells me that Tariq had to survive, because if he died, I don't think it would have been a question that this was it. It was done. Just from that fact alone, I think, of course, he survived. I think this is at the point where He'll be feeling a flux of emotions, being back at the scene of the crime, like I said. And I think as the season continues to go on, all those clips I played in the intro of Ghost telling him that this is a life of misery, you don't want to go down this path, that I went down it, I wish I hadn't, and all these different things, Tariq is finally gonna start to understand it. Because currently he's been at the point where everything Ghost ever did was wrong, but I think this is where it starts to turn and flip. Usually in the Power universe, the Power world, people don't get out the game. It doesn't happen often, if at all. You guys could put anyone down below that actually got out the game in the Power universe, but I can't really think of anybody. Or if they tried to get out, they got pulled back in, they went to jail, got killed. So many things have happened. And I think Tariq will finally be the difference maker. His story will possibly end with him fully getting out the game, and that would be thanks to him finally seeing and understanding Ghost's perspective, and that what he was telling him was true. Ghost loved his son to the very end. Like, a lot of people talk about if Ghost was to return, that he would possibly kill Tariq, but I always says that's not true. He just wanted him to see the right way, the right path, that's all. Because if he didn't care about him, he would have let Tommy shoot him after Tariq shot Ghost, but he didn't. He stopped Tommy. Or also, he wouldn't have left him anything in his inheritance, which we know he went and changed. His lawyer said it. After Angela died, he went and put in Pa's name. He could have took Tariq shit out right there. They've been beefing for like 3 seasons at that point, but he didn't. He still left everything to him. So to an extent, he just wanted Tariq to see his perspective, his way of things, and choose the right path. I think as long as Tariq does that this season, it should end on a good note. Overall, that's it for this video. You guys can leave your thoughts and opinions down below. As usual, do you think Tariq suffers the same fate as Ghost? How do you see this storyline ending? Also, you can put your death predictions down below. I told you guys who I think Tariq would kill, but you could just tell me your death predictions in general. I ain't gonna lie, I'm tweaking for this season to hurry up already. June feels so far away, and BMF, that shit is trash. I had to stop watching that, so I'm currently fiending for more Power content, and the quicker this is over with, the quicker we get more into Power origins and shit like that. So I can't wait. As usual, you guys can leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know anything else you want to see on the channel, but I'm out.